Mark Carpenter put it out. The Ring put it out um, on Netflix. Uh, his charges got dropped with something outside of boxing a couple weeks ago. And now we're here. Obviously, before that, he had a draw with Lamont Roach. So, I mean, what do you think about just the fight that is happening in this exhibition? And what do you feel about as far as him in the future, as far as, fighting some of the best guys at 135?
I don't think at this point he will ever fight none of the best guys at 135. He never showed that he was interested in proving that he was the best. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that he probably believes he's the best. He just not like he already told you what he's worried about. He's worried about becoming a meme. He's worried about so many things. You feel what I'm saying? So, with that being said, you got to bring it to get it. And I don't think he's gonna have the kind of temperament that he needs to bring it like he needs to bring it to fight the best of the best.
Do you feel like do you feel like it has to do with him per se, knowing that I could lose and I could lose this type of bag, and that's why I'm going to fight Jake first and possibly fight some of these other guys at 135? Or do you feel like after you get that type of money, the pizzazz of trying to go into a dreadful training camp to work hard is not going to be there anymore? Is that what you're saying to me?
I think it's both.
Mm.
I think it's both. I think it's both. I think that why would you get up and for, like I said, when people were screaming ones and everything else, when you start saying, I told you this before. I said when you start to hear other numbers, then the last number and the previous number that sounded good to you sound like nothing to you. You know what I'm saying? So I can only imagine the numbers that he hearing. Even with Ryan Garcia, the money he made. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a lot of money. So with Jake Paul, it's gonna be a whole lot of money. You know what I'm saying? And then he don't have to worry about taking the loss. I don't know if I know it's gonna be an exhibition bout, but are they gonna have headgear? Like, what is this gonna be? You know what I'm saying? Because the exhibition bouts, they're gonna have to have rules with boxing. I don't know if you're gonna be able to do that with a head without a headgear. Well, yeah,
Right.
they did. Because Roy and Mike did it without headgears.
Yes, they did it without a headgear.
Yeah, and all Floyd matches without headgear, they were exhibition bouts. So yeah, well that'd
Yeah,
be
they'll do
better.
like bigger gloves.
Yeah, right. Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, ain't nowhere in the world Jake Paul gonna be hitting with no. Well, Jake Paul will have to wear tens, and then Tank will have to wear eights if it was legal. But they probably gonna fight in 16s.
Slap two 16s on both of them.
And put some 16s on both of them. Maybe some 18s on 18s on Jake Paul and some 10s on Tank. That you got to think about it. He gonna come up with something there. He got to get something out of there.
Mm.
Yeah.
Do you
I mean,
do
'cause
you,
Jake got a lot of advantages when it comes to height, the size, stuff like that. But then Tank got the experience and the abilities or whatever else. But I mean, they're like we say, always
really
say,
and really doing this at a high level?
right. But I mean, like they said, we I mean, there are weight classes for a reason. Tank is like in real life, he ain't 5'5". Tank is like 5'4". He's not 5'5". He looks like the first time I seen him, man, he looks like a little boy. That's not throwing no shots at him. I'm saying I didn't know who he was when I first heard about him. And he came and I looked at him, I was like, that's him. He had just won his title with Pedraza. And I think that was at 126, I believe. He was very small. He was very small.
It happening in Atlanta. Talk to me. How you feel
Oh,
about it?
is it?
That's what they reported.
Oh, well, I'm in the house then. That's what's up. Yeah, I'm in the house. I'll be there. I'll be there front and center then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good for the culture. That's what's up. I mean, Tank get a lot of love in Atlanta or whatever. I can tell you that from, through due to even when he came here with us, he get a lot of love in Atlanta or whatever else. So, I mean, it is what it is. Jake Paul, well, he from Cleveland. He's from Ohio, right?
Hmm.
Oh, it's Cleveland, but I know he's from Ohio or whatever, Toledo maybe. So, I mean, Atlanta is it's a good market. They'll definitely sell out the State Farm Arena. Definitely.
They were saying something about, obviously we seen that Jake Paul was in negotiations with Anthony Joshua and it fell off due to a network deal that couldn't, be possible. Um, Now that being said, do you feel like that was the case, or do you feel like it was more the fact that it's like I'd rather fight it looks better if I fight Tank Davis than fight Anthony Joshua because like, he's like a real heavyweight, and you want to capitalize on the stardom of Tank Davis in this show that they're about to put together.
My audio still good?
Yeah.
I mean, two things can be true. I mean, you want to capitalize on, you want to get everything while it's hot. Like, you got to remember what we just missed out on. We just missed out on Wilder Joshua. We missed out on Joshua Fury. We missed out on so much. You know what I'm saying? Even taking it back further than that, we missed out on Evander Tyson in their, prime, in their real deal. You know what I'm saying? When Tyson was Tyson. You know what I'm saying? And Evander was Evander. So we done seen this many times before. So yeah, you got to capitalize on everything else. Timing is everything. Timing is everything, man. So yeah, now we got to capitalize on the namesake. We got to capitalize on the height that they own. We got to capitalize on all of that.
Look at the longevity of the sport, though, right? After this fight with Lamont Roach, and just seeing that, this fight like this could happen, an exhibition with tons of millions of dollars. Do you feel like that tarnishes the sport?
What it does and what Turkey Out of Sheik has done, and that's what some people not understand. Even with Zab, Zab comes on here all the time and he tell you the numbers that he was dealing with, the numbers he was working with, the numbers he was going with. We know we're dealing with inflation. We know we're in a whole different stratosphere on everything else. So what it does is it actually helps the fighters. It helps the fighters get more money because the fighters are seeing that there was always more money out there to be got. You know what I mean? Like, you got a Zab saying he fought for 100,000, but there's no telling, that's why they always call boxing the game of pimps and hoes. You know what I'm saying? So now, just being cliche, the hoes are learning their value, the hoes are learning their worth. I'm just being real. I'm not calling fighters hoes, of course, but I'm just giving that on that euphemism, that method. But I'm saying the people the fighters are learning their value. I'm calling fighters because they're fighters. The fighters are learning their value. The fighters are learning their worth. The fighters are learning how much money they're making the networks, and they're doing the math. So just like the same thing with the fans getting involved in the business of boxing, the boxers are getting involved with the business of boxing. Whereas before, you take a guy from the hood, you tell him I give you $50,000. Who we fighting? Where we at? Let's get it. You know what I'm saying? That's me and you. That's all of us. You know what I'm saying? So now you're like, why would I fight for 50,000 like I fight for 50 million? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
So with that being said, I think it's just opening the eyes of a lot of people and a lot of fighters that they thought was stupid or was once ignorant. I ain't gonna say stupid, but ignorant. That were once ignorant to what was going on and what was happening, and now they seeing what they can get. And I also think that's why a lot of these networks are going out of business too, is because you got the promoters being greedy and trying to always worry about their bottom line. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I feel you on that.
Yeah, man.
Now, so you feel like no Tank and Roach?
No. I got a bet. I just text Mark Nash. I just text my boy Mark Nash when I woke up. I just said my boy Mark Nash. He owed me $20 because after that fight, I told Mark, I said Tank not gonna fight him again. He said, what you mean he not gonna fight? I said he not gonna fight him again. He said, why you say that? I said because Tank just ain't that kind of guy. I'm not saying that to be funny again. Like I ain't got no venom in him. The truth is the truth though. You know what I'm saying? I said he just not gonna fight him again. He's not gonna push himself. He don't want to push himself of greatness. Why? Why would he? Why does he have to? It's just like with anything else with other people you see. Nobody's pushing their guys to be great. Certain situations you would imagine with a Shakur, and the Tank, you would imagine all the fans, all of his fans were like, man, will you please go knock him out? Will you please go shut his mouth up? Show him you the best. Then he come out over and over and he fight different people and then he tell you what has he done to deserve a fight for me. And then they come in, yeah, what has he done to deserve a fight for you? The same thing Hector Garcia did deserve a fight for you. The same thing Lamont Roach deserve. You know what I'm saying? And all I'm saying to be funny, I'm saying to be real. You see the play. It's just fans are so blinded by fandemonium, they don't get it. They don't hold their fighter to the same standards that they hold everybody else to. And unfortunately, that's just the world we live in. You know what I'm saying?